Welcome, friends. This is Sala de Uyuni, a dry lake where the largest reserves of lithium are located. The same lithium will be the biggest energy source for the next 100 to 150 years. These reserves are located between Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina, called the Lithium Triangle. 70% of the world's lithium reserves are within this triangle. The biggest investor in this triangle is China. But China is not only investing in this triangle, but in this entire region everywhere. This region is called South America. The continent rich in natural resources, located just below the USA, will soon become the center of attention of the whole world. From financial aid to construction projects and military bases to even space stations, China has become involved in everything on this continent. According to a report by the World Economic Forum, China and South America traded $307 billion, which is almost double the trade of the USA of $156 billion. And right now, economists are predicting that by 2035, this trade between China and South America could reach $700 billion. The data shows that the alarm bells have rung for the USA. As I mentioned in my previous video, if you haven't seen this video of mine, you should watch it. The link is in the description, and you can also access it by clicking on the upper I button. Now let's come back to our video about how China invested so much in South America, which was called the backyard of the USA. Will China overtake the USA in the coming days and become the world's superpower? And why is the USA so helpless that it is unable to stop China? We try to find out the answers to all these questions in this video of my channel, The Knowledge Loom. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. The location of South America is very important. About 6% of the world's trade passes through this choke point located between North America and South America, which is known as the Panama Canal. This canal connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Every year, 13,000 to 14,000 cargo ships pass through this canal. Most of the trade between East Asia and the USA takes place through this canal, which directly means that this route is used by the United States and China. Because the United States sends goods from its west coast to Europe and Africa through this canal. The total population of South America is 42 million, and if we look at its combined GDP, it becomes the fourth largest economy in the world. South America is rich in reserves of gold, silver, copper, iron, oil, and lithium. If we talk about Venezuela alone, it has more oil reserves than Saudi Arabia. But still, 94% of Venezuelans live in extreme poverty, and this is the case for all of South America except for 1 or 2 countries. Despite being so rich in resources, South America has unfortunately not been able to take advantage of all these resources. Inefficient infrastructure, poor law and order, political instability, and corruption are 4 things you will find in every country in South America. South America is suffering from the resource curse. The resource curse is an economic phenomenon according to which countries that have a lot of mineral resources have a lower economic growth rate compared to the rest of the developed countries. But now, with China's arrival, many things are changing. China's deep interest in South America began in 2000. At that time, only 2% of South America's total exports went to China. But from 2000 to 2024, this share increased from 2% to 24%. Today, China is South America's largest trading partner. Chile's 39%, Brazil and Peru's 28%, Uruguay's 20%, Ecuador's 19%, Colombia and Paraguay's 18%, and Bolivia and Argentina's 14% trade with China. But of all these countries, Venezuela is the most dependent on China. It has borrowed $62 billion from China for oil exploration from 2007 to 2021. Similarly, the China Development Bank has given $137 billion in loans to all South American countries between 2005 to 2021. All these loans have been given for infrastructure development, oil extraction, dam construction, and lithium deposits. The extent of China's influence in South America is shown by the fact that the largest solar power plant in South America is 100% Chinese-sponsored. China is the largest investor in Peru's mining sector. 7 mines in Peru are under Chinese control, of which 2 are iron and 5 are copper mines. Thus, 100% of Peru's iron and 25% of its copper production are in China's hands. The Chinese company Tianqi Lithium Corporation is the second largest partner in Chile's lithium mine. And if you look at it politically, Chinese President Xi Jinping has visited South America 13 times from 2013 to 2021. China's foreign space station is in the Patagonian desert of Argentina. Through this space station, China monitors the entire region. Similarly, this El Sombrero station in Venezuela, from where China has launched various satellites. There are more space stations in Bolivia, Brazil, and Ecuador in China, but no one knows what is happening there. Sitting across the ocean, China is closing South America in its grip. The important thing is that China has created a soft corner among the people of South America due to all this financial assistance. And they have started considering China as an alternative to the USA and Europe. China has become so influential in South America that most South American countries have supported China in the United Nations on the issue of Taiwan and the Ukraine war. Some South American countries have even severed their relations with Taiwan at China's request. Only these 4 South American countries consider Taiwan to be an independent country. Apart from them, all the others do not recognize Taiwan. Similarly, if we talk about military weapons, between 2009 and 2019, China gave weapons worth $634 million to South American countries. A military port is being built on the coast of Peru, which is called Chanquet Port and is China's first military port outside its own country. China is very actively providing Huawei equipment in South America. It is important to remember here that the USA has banned Huawei. However, Huawei is becoming the largest cellular company in the neighborhood of the USA. I think all this information will be very shocking for all of you, how China has so quietly taken control of an entire continent, and all this has happened under the nose of a superpower. We already know that China had entered South America to get natural resources, but there is something else behind it, and that is to get closer to the USA. And the real reason for this is the geographical distance of the USA from the whole world. I have told you how much benefit the USA has in my previous video, which you can understand by watching it, and the USA has created a proxy to keep an eye on and control China in the South China Sea. As we look at China, China can only be accessed from the world through its 14,000 kilometers long coastline. Through this, China imports and exports everything. But there are many islands in the middle, and the misfortune of China is that all of them are under the influence of the USA and are also friends. Similarly, the USA has military bases in Japan and South Korea, which have 80,000 military personnel. The USA keeps China under pressure through its friendly countries. And to break this, China has strengthened its foothold in South America. If the USA threatens to block China's sea route through its proxies in the future, China can also threaten the USA with the same through its friendly countries in South America, which is why the USA has become so helpless in front of China.